We're at the 2025 Saudi Arabian Formula One in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. I have Chris Medland here with me today, racer, F1 TV, and somebody who contributes to one of my favorite shows that really helped get me into Formula One, which is Drive to Survive. You've seen the growth of F1 from multiple angles, media, Netflix, trackside as well. In your view, how has the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, would you say, evolved on a global level since its 21 debut till 4 years later now on our fifth race?
I think, well, one thing everything goes much more smoothly. To be fair, 2021, it was right up against it to get this track ready, get this venue ready, in the middle of what was such an intense season. And there were so many eyes on just a championship, let alone this being a new race. And coming to a venue like this, it was, I think in a sense, a shock to the system because the track was just so different to anything else we'd had, such a high-speed street circuit. Now it's kind of settled down. The drivers love it, but they also see that it's very intense, it's high risk, high reward. But it's become like a real, I think, a highlight for a lot of the drivers on the calendar because there's something old school about that. A little bit of threat that if you get it wrong, it can go really wrong. And they kind of embrace that. They know that if they do well at this track, it really means something. But everything just goes much more smoothly now. It runs much more like clockwork because you can only get better by experiencing it, right?
Yeah.
So having this race over and over again, it just works much more smoothly. And I think being at the start of the calendar actually took a bit of the limelight off in the way that the end of 2021 had on it, but in a good way. Then the focus is just kind of on the event in a more calm manner.
It's tough when there's a new circuit on the calendar. Like Bahrain, you can do with your eyes closed, it's been there for 20 years. But in Jeddah, you don't know the ins and outs of it all. So it takes a few years to kind of like know it like the back of your hand?
Oh, absolutely. I still would say most drivers wouldn't say they know it like the back of their hand because so much happens so quickly here. Like you say, you get time to pause for breath around Bahrain and around many other circuits, just at certain points. But around here you don't. Certainly not until the final maybe sector, the last corner, will be the one time that you maybe stop and go, oh, got through this lap, let's go again. But I think that's again what the drivers love about it. By having this race now at the start of the calendar, a lot of drivers still aren't comfortable with their cars because they're new cars. So that dynamic added to the track actually makes it a real big challenge for them.
Probably more exciting for the fans who are watching.
Oh, absolutely. There's a lot of fans that tune in for this race because of the drama you can get, because you know that you're going to get safety cars, you can have incidents, you can have crashes, you get lots of good racing because having such a high-speed street circuit is very different in the sense with long straights, you can get slipstreams, DRS allows overtaking. There's a lot of street circuits that don't do that. There's a lot of permanent circuits that don't do that.
Not to mention the fastest street circuit on the calendar.
Yeah.
340 kilometers an hour. It's insanity.
You've got to be brave.
You've got to be brave. How do we compare to some of the other city tracks like Baku and Singapore, would you say?
So there's some similarities in terms of with Singapore being a night race, Baku not, but then some similarities with Baku with the high speeds. They have a huge long straight, some overtaking. Dare I say it, I think there's a little bit more character here in the sense that a lot of those have a lot of 90-degree right-angle corners. Naturally, you have to have that as a city-based track. They were using a lot of existing roads for a lot of their layout. Here, I know some of this was existing, but some of it was then constructed for this area around the Corniche. And I think that just gave the organisers a little bit more flexibility and freedom to create something that had a better flow and really stands out. It makes it very different compared to other street circuits, I'd say.
No one was expecting us to get it up and running in 8 months, by the way.
I don't think we were coming here. We saw the construction work going on. It's like, that might not happen, but
yeah,
did a brilliant job.
Pulled it off.
Yeah.
Someone in the audience asked Toto if he had any regrets. He was like, yes, giving McLaren a car.
Yeah, I mean, they've got the same engine and the McLaren are doing a great job with it, but that gives them a benchmark to go and hit, so I think it'll motivate them.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Chris. Much appreciated.
Thank you for having me on.
All the best, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks a lot.